What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this RWBY discussion, this time Volume 8, Episode 10, Ultimatum. As always, I'm Connor. With us, we have Mike,
Yo.
Travis,
Sup?
and Zach.
Howdy.
So, first impressions of the episode.
Not as much spark as
I was so...
as the previous two episodes.
What?
For me specifically,
I divide this episode in two parts myself. There's the first half, which I really enjoy, and the second half, which I fucking hate.
I'm with you.
This is why I'm saying, like, for me,
I was right.
You were not right.
All right, this is getting too
wrong.
Like, we'll cover this as we go.
All right, yeah, let's get into it. Let's start off with the good. The episode opens up on a great shot of Ironwood looking over the battlefield from afar. He's talking to some scared guards about the jailbreak that happened, trying to get what's going on. They talk that they still have Jacques, and he's like, I don't give a fuck. No one gives a fuck about Jacques. What about the other two? And they say that the Crow and Hill are both gone. And, he's pissed off, says go search for him.
Oh, I lost a bird.
He goes back to looking out the window, and then we see Ozpin's magic goes off. And it is glorious.
Insane.
I love how it looks. The effects, the sound design, I think it's all amazing.
Yeah.
Can I say something that confused me, though?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
For as much of a nuke as it was, they weren't that far away from the explosion.
When it's magic, maybe it's just a beam that only kills Grimm. I don't know.
That's kind of how I assumed it, because there was a lot of people there, and they were all running like there was nothing wrong after that. But Connor, literally, you were like, I want to see something that's, magic, that something else besides just rainbow beams. Well, here you go, buddy.
And I was very happy with that.
And it's kinetic energy, as we find out.
I literally in the discussion or in the react, I was like, called it.
We see some people watching from afar what they're doing. Weiss is bringing Nora tea. Jesus fucking Christ! I still hate the tea. So much tea. Neo skips out of the explosion.
The cups didn't even break. I was disappointed. I was waiting. I wanted to see some shattering cups. Nothing.
The Aesops were charging in for the bomb when it all happened. It's just kind of a great detail all around. I just hate the tea. But after the explosion happens, the Aesops are confused, not sure what's happened, and Marrow's very concerned about the children.
Made me respect him more.
But before that, you see, what's her name skipping away with the lamp.
Yeah, I said that. I said we see Neo skipping away.
With Neo?
Oh, I missed that part, sorry.
Yeah, it just confirmed that she had it.
Yep.
Yep.
I like that. That was one of my favorite parts of the episode.
Yeah, I guess I didn't say she had the lamp. Since I assumed that, I didn't feel the need to specify. So fair play.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was really hoping that it was gonna kill like all the people that were there. I know that's kind of bad, maybe, and like plot reasons probably would not have lined up. But I was really hoping that killed like all those people.
I was hoping my theory was correct and that it would reverse time back to where they could have told Ironwood the truth. Because I would love to see how that plays out.
I laughed. I laughed on the inside. I didn't laugh on the outside because I was mad because they were trying to make a joke out of this part. But when they were like, "Is everyone okay?" and it's like, "Yep, we're fine." Then whatever her name is walks up. What?
GG.
That was hilarious.
I would have enjoyed. Well, if they went back to Ironwood, like you were saying, Zach, I would have enjoyed that. Because I do have one gripe about the explosion, and that's they kind of get to it later. They say that he stores up kinetic energy in his staff, but previously Monty had said it stores time. So I'm kind of sad that it wasn't anything that was speed related or time related. It was just charged up over time.
Yeah.
So that's my disappointment with it.
Fair enough.
But even then, I'm still fine with most of the explosion.
And that the Grimm is so huge that it's taken forever for it to dissipate. It's crazy.
Yeah. The bones also aren't dissipating at the same rate, so I'm concerned that the bones will still be there. I really hope they aren't, because the bones should be gone. But we'll see.
Turns out that's Ruby's mom.
Your mom's a whale. You
Whale
take that
whore.
back.
GG.
So anyway, Ironwood congratulates the Aesops, thinking that they were responsible for the explosion. They decide that they're going to report back to him and then explain everything that happened. So we cut to Watts and Cinder.
Here we go.
So the first thing we discover is that Penny has been set on a path. He set a virus in her, and so he's not controlling her. She is just following her directive.
I love this scene. It was my
I
favorite
loved
scene
it too.
of the
Favorite
whole
scene.
show.
Yep.
I mean, even though he was scared that he was going to die, he still didn't give a fuck. He pretty much just said, "Fuck you.
Well-
You're useless. You're a piece of shit, and you never do anything right." I loved it.
I just love that he called out everybody. Like,
Okay, so let's get to that point then. I was going to ask, does anyone have a comment about the Penny thing first before we moved on?
I like what he did with the Penny thing of like, listen, I'm not trying to control her. I'm trying to make things happen. But it also seems with it that it's almost like that he actually worked in tandem with what Ironwood wanted him to do. So it almost seems like, what side is he actually on?
Yeah, it seems like he's playing both sides.
I think he's doing exactly what Salem wants, because Salem wants the relic. It just is something that happens to coincide with what Ironwood's going for.
Okay, fair enough. I want to hear from
But-
Mike on this because he would simp for Mike or for Penny. So I'm just trying to understand how Mike feels about it.
About how I feel about like the regression of Penny.
Yeah, he
You
gave her a nasty virus, Mike. Penny's a dirty girl, getting viruses and shit.
It's a dirty.
I'm gonna have faith in the artificial soul that's implanted in her, because they keep making reference, like maybe like minor references to the machine side, which is implying that she has a human side. So maybe the human side will prevail, maybe it won't. But I got hope. That's all I got.
Fair
It'll
enough.
be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, then it leads to Cinder getting mad. It's like, that is not what I need. I need her here. Make her come to me. Blah, 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 blah. Just running down the same old song that you were saying. And that's when Watts just changes. He starts laughing at her. Oh, you poor idiot child. Mocks her for every failure she's had.
Why do you consistently think you're good? You lose to everybody, you stupid bitch.
I love when he's talking about the Mistral attack. If only someone could have warned you. Oh, wait, I did.
I loved it.
I love the fact that he, like, when he was talking shit, he didn't even give a fuck anymore. He just took his hand, like, he literally took his hands off of her grim hand and was just like, "Fucking drop me, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not scared of you. You're gonna
It's
listen
like,
to what I have to say, bitch."
Yeah, oh, the poor girl she's suffered. Well, it's more than that. That's gonna take more than that. Gotta be strong, smart, deserving, and fucking worthy.
I just love that how it turns out, she just starts crying. Like, what?
Fucking crybaby.
It's such a weird moment because it's like they're trying to get sympathy for Cinder. And they do the same thing with another character later on, but it's like these characters don't deserve sympathy. Not yet.
I mean, just to put the icing on top of that cake.
Mhm.
For what reason? I guess would she have for sparing him at that point? If she talked up this game, and maybe she's just talking up a good game. That was it. But why talk up this good game and then be like, all right, well, I guess you're right. I'm gonna go over here and cry. I just that feels very unnatural and uncharacteristic.
And that's my issue with it.
Yeah.
Maybe she's been bluffing this whole time.
And maybe it was. I was like, I'll give her the tiniest of benefit of doubt. Maybe she was just talking up a good game. She really wasn't going to do anything.
She literally led an attack on a school. She guaranteed the death of 2 people. She was directly related with at least 2 and probably responsible for countless other deaths in Vale. I don't have pity for her. I don't have any feeling that she wouldn't have been willing to do what she just did. She looked at Pyrrha down the arrow and she just fucking shot her.
And that's why it feels like it feels very unnatural and uncharacteristic.
I agree.
Because like, all right, for what reason would you just be like, all right, what could have ticked in your head to make you be like, oh wow, you're right. Like it's not like somebody else hasn't told you this before. Or I guess not like straight, maybe like not as straightforward,
See,
but
I don't think someone has been that honest with her because Salem's using her as a pawn. Why break your pawn? Make her think that she's doing a good job. Like Salem doesn't give a fuck if she lives or dies. Like, here's another mission for you. You fail? Well, you might die. Okay, I'll find another piece. Like Salem doesn't care. It's potential she never has been told that like you're worthless. You're awful at this. Like, why are you even trying? I don't know.
You make
It-
good
I'll
points.
leave it.
It's a good thing, a good idea. But it's still, it feels like they're trying to force sympathy into a character that doesn't deserve it, and she's not even the character who's suffered the most in the series. I'm going to make a lot of parallels to Adam this episode. Remember, he was treated as pretty much a slave his entire life. He was branded. He was made to hate humans, but we didn't get a sympathy story for him. The closest thing we got was the reveal of the Schnee Dust Company brand on him, but that didn't earn him any form of sympathy. So I'm not going to show Cinder any. She hasn't earned it.
Cinder, if anything, might be worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried to keep Adam out of a lot of these, aside from like one-off jokes. You're going to be hearing a lot about Adam later in this episode, just so y'all know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. All right, but let's continue on, shall we?
Shall.
So then we're seeing exactly the aftermath of the explosion following Yang and her team. And she calls up Blake and everything. They have a little conversation, I guess. That's fun. Just trying to figure out exactly whether everyone's all right and everything like that and exactly where they should go. So what do? They go into the subway system. And they're trying to have a little debate about whether they should trust Emerald or whether they should just be using her or whether they should just cut her down right now. What are your opinions on that?
I thought
Is this the way like good guys actually talk? I mean, they would just fuck her up right now. Just kill her.
she's just right there. She's just right there. Like,
And then she literally says that she's like, I'm right here.
I
hated it.
I was just like in the back of my head. I'm like, all right, so Emerald. All right, she did have some like responsibility to some of the things that they had started talking about. But I was like,
Directly
how
responsible
is
for Penny's death.
so? Aside from that, like in what way has she really just like boned their team in general? Like, it's sure she's a pawn, and like you said, like she was directly responsible for the thing with Penny. But the characters that are currently present, like in what way has she like had any major impact or direct impact?
She's the reason why Yang has that metal arms. What she said, which is I don't think so, but whatever.
It's indirectly related because she was involved in the attack on Beacon. But I do think Yang does have a justified reason to hate her because it was because of Emerald that everyone thought that Yang attacked an innocent person after the fight was over.
Oh yeah,
All
That's
right,
what I
fair.
was about to
That's
just
fair.
say.
Well, does anybody know what the have we like? Does anybody know what purple means when it comes to the things that he sees around people
I'm
I
assuming it
assume-
means guilt.
See, that's what I thought.
or sadness? I don't know.
Guilt, envy. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know why. Guilt is kind of where I went with it. But, like, I don't know.
I haven't analyzed Ren's semblance enough. Like they
Oh,
had
yeah.
like other colors.
They haven't analyzed it.
Well, the only reason why I think that it has to do with something with that is because what's his name? Fucking God, I can't remember names. The one that sees the auras or whatever. Yeah, Ren.
Ren.
So Ren actually says we're all in this together, and we're all going towards the same goal right now. So she should just stick with us. He literally was like saying we should just all work together, pretty much.
Which I understand his point of view, but this is one of the few times where I'm closer to Yang's point of view.
Yeah.
It's because I view Emerald in the same light as Cinder. I don't think she's deserving of sympathy. She's someone who's directly responsible for hundreds, if not thousands, of deaths at Beacon.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time. It was kind of like, this is a worthless argument right now. Why don't you deal with it later type thing? Like, she's not fighting you right now. You're all trying to recover. She's clearly sad about what's his nuts, Hazel. Like,
Yeah.
just let it go. Focus on getting back to your team. Have your team as a group decide what to do. But in the end, she didn't try and stop anybody from doing anything. She ran with you all. She could have stayed and helped Salem. She didn't.
So yeah,
Yeah, her loyalty's to Cinder.
I guess we assume that Hazel's dead because she said hey at one point during that spot she said Hazel and like ashes was going through her fingers.
So
I guess she
like,
burned to death.
I don't even know, man. Like,
I'm assuming
probably.
yes, but we don't know.
I
wanna
think he'll be brought back. I think he's going to be brought back by Salem
Maybe.
to be like a
That'd
now
be
I'm under
interesting.
control type thing.
And maybe. But Ozpin goes into some talks about second chances and all that, and that's very on par for his character.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that, even though I disagree with it. I like him talking about that. And that's when we also get the reveal that I completely forgot about. They weren't aware that Ozpin was back.
See, I was going to say that too. I just assumed it was like some off-camera shit that they all knew he was back.
Mm. And it was like, in the episode where they react, I was like, oh yeah, they don't know, do they? But so long, I just completely forgot. And then they walk through where all the people have been evacuated to the subway and blah, blah, blah. Emerald sees some of the damage she's caused. And she's like, oh no, poo-hoo, pity me. Anyway, so then we cut to the Aesops talking to Ironwood. And this is where the episode gets bad.
Yeah, we get to
What?
see a temper tantrum. I thought it was. I was like, "Is this my 4-year-old? What is going on here?"
So, they're explaining everything that happened. That it wasn't them who set off the bomb.
It wasn't our
He
bomb, Dad.
Obviously, assumes it was Oscar and Ozpin. And then he has, and then they talk about how he doesn't know if Watts betrayed them or what. And it was that line that made me realize, oh no, they Adamed him. They made him stupid. They took away the thing about him that people liked, and they just made him hateable because of that. And everything he goes on to do is just a fucking symptom of that exact same issue. The thing I liked about Ironwood is that he was logical. He was rational. He was someone who stuck to the logical path no matter how hard it was. But in this episode, he strays completely from that, and they just took away all his logic. He's just stupid now.
Could you argue because what he's
No.
the
Nope. I'll hear you out.
And why exactly
So
does
he's
he need the Winter Maiden right now? Like,
So
again-
yeah, we'll get to that here. I've got more to rant with that directly. What were you saying, Mike?
I was gonna say maybe this is another callback to his
Semblance.
his character. He's the
The
he's the
Tin Man.
Tin Man, right? Who wanted a brain. So maybe this is another.
He wanted a
another-
heart.
or a heart. I'm sorry, I cannot remember every time. so never mind.
And so if it's just following that trend where he's going on the path of losing his heart, that still makes sense here. But there are other ways that you can do it that also fit the character.
Yeah. Again, I'm not saying it was done well because I've said this before, but I feel like that's what that's what they were like attempting to do. Maybe
so if he's the Tin Man, who's the Scarecrow? Is it Crow?
Crow.
Crow's the scarecrow.
So he's gonna lose his mind.
God, I hope so. I mean, at this point, I don't give a fuck about Crow. He's probably going to be the one to kill Ironwood. He's be like, this is for Clover, the man who I was responsible for killing.
Like I was gonna say, like
didn't think this through, did I?
technically responsible for killing. Rest in peace.
If Crow kills Ironwood while talking about Clover, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
They're gonna do it, dude. You already know it's coming. Just expect it. Brace yourself.
So this is where the Adam relation comes in. What they did with Adam was they took something that made him relatable. The thing that made the audience like him was the fact that he was like the Malcolm X of the racial movement. He was someone who believed that violence was the only way that you could earn the respect of the people who were oppressing you. The only, through fear, that was what you had to do to earn equality. But the whole time in previous seasons, before 3, 3 and before, he was just talking about how it was all about the faunus. We get a cut back in Volume 3 when we're hearing about Cinder's escapades, where he's talking to the Lieutenant, the White Fang lieutenant, and the lieutenant's saying, hey, so we can't find the girl, referring to Blake. And Adam says, forget about her. We have more important issues to deal with. Showing that he doesn't care about Blake. He's not obsessed with her. And then they just completely took that away from his character, and they just left an abusive ex-boyfriend in his place. They took away the thing that made him relatable and left the worst possible thing about his character that was like warped from what it actually was. And they've done that now to Ironwood. They took away the cold hard logic, the desire to protect everyone, and they made him dumb and cruel. They just took the thing that people hated most, warped it to make it worse, and not make sense.
I mean, I've called it since the beginning. Terrible.
And the only way I can rationalize this is that, like, the way that I justify this in my head is Ironwood died at the end of Volume 7, and off-screen his evil twin took his place.
All right, so I'm not going to disagree with you because I actually agree with pretty much everything. But just from just like a slightly different perspective, considering the circumstances, could it also not be possible that he became just misguided in general? Now they clearly would have done a poor job of doing that, but just all right. So like everything that he thought was going in order, because I know some people like that. Like everything is exactly in place of the way they need to. They expect other things, and when the unexpected happens, and as they begin to like lose more things, that's when they start becoming more erratic.
Yeah, they get desperate. Which, absolutely, I agree with what you're saying, Mike. That is a thing that happens. But it has been handled terribly here because there is no reason for him to be desperate at this moment.
Yeah, and I was
the whale is gone. The Grimm are gone. Salem will return, but you've got time for alternatives. On top of that, he has a chance now. So let's focus on what exactly happens on the episode. He talks about how he wants to use Yang and Ren and Jean as hostages to force the Winter Maiden, to force Penny to be given up, so that way they can get the relic and get Atlas to the heavens. Then Winter reveals, well, we actually let them go.
She didn't reveal it.
Sorry. It was revealed. I don't remember who exactly revealed it. Was it Mero or
Harriet?
Okay.
That little bitch.
It makes sense there. What are you going to do? Oh, yeah, let me go get him? I'm not going to call her a tattler there. No matter what, it was going to be found out.
What I hated what comes up next is his reaction to her. Well, you were the leader. Now fuck you, Winter. I don't need you anymore, you little bitch.
He doesn't say that to her.
Oh, wait,
He's
look
just
at
disappointed.
the look in his eyes said that.
Well, yeah, but he hasn't said that, so I'm going to cut him some slack there. I'm not going to put words into his mouth. So then, anyway, to get back on track here, we see the Schnee Dust Company jets coming down to get Mantle citizens to pull them up to Alice. This is where I disagree with Ironwood the most. Like, this is where it really, really begins. Because I can understand trying to use the people as hostages, trying to use Ren and John and them as hostages.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Maybe you were about to say this. I don't know. I'm sorry.
My God.
Here's where his full retard moment comes into play. It was all about Mantle.
Yeah,
I mean, where
absolutely.
Everybody
I hated that line.
It's all about it. What?
It's always been about Mantle.
What?
It's always been about
Mind blown. They're trying to save people down in Mantle.
And that's another one of the lines where it's just they made him stupid for no fucking reason.
I think in my reaction I say that I'm like, are you dumb? Like, that's been the whole disagreement.
Yeah, Nora literally said they're carrying all of the issues, all the stress that is going on right now in the previous season. There's no reason he would say anything like that other than the writers just made him dumb.
Dude,
that's the only excuse.
He knows it was about them saving Mantle. There is no question about it.
Yep.
It literally, as soon as this happened, so in context, Connor and Travis saw the episode prior to me. and they both typed in chat, Zach, you're going to hate this episode. And I thought that's what it was about, was that line. And I'm just like, yeah, he is going stupid. Holy shit, I'm right. He's a terrible character. Like, they're destroying him. This poor man, they've destroyed my boy type thing. Well, little did we know.
I guess I should cover one other thing before we continue with the everything that Ironwood's doing. While he's going into this huge rant of what's about to happen, Neo sends a text message to Cinder saying that she has the relic. It's like, you want this? You know what you need to get me. Whole thing, and she sends a selfie and everything too.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed that bit there. But then as that's all being revealed, Ironwood gives what the episode is named for, his ultimatum. He shoots down the ships going to rescue the Mantle citizens for no fucking reason.
That's
This
the part
is
that
where-
pissed me off.
He just learned it's about Mantle, though, Connor. He just learned about it.
And this is where the desperation that Mike was talking about earlier comes into effect. There's no reason for a desperate act like this. There is not a time crunch at this moment. They have more time than they've had. They had a time crunch when the whale was attacking, but now that's gone. So now they have chance. He's no longer desperate. He has time. He can make plays. There are maneuvers to be had. But for some reason, all that is out the window. He wanted to get the people of Mantle up to Atlas earlier, but now fuck that. He just completely pulled a 180. The writers just made him pull a 180. And so he shoots the fucking things down. And then he says, hey, I got a bomb. Guess what? You don't give me fucking penny in an hour. I use the bomb to destroy Mantle. There's no fucking reason for any of it.
It's the actions of a child. I'm not getting my way. I'm going to throw a fit. And if I don't get my way, no one gets anyway.
Well, when
My
you
way is
just
the
learned
only
it's
way.
about Mantle, what would you do?
Well, I'm gonna flip some stuff.
I just don't.
Your
I mean,
whole
like,
all about saving people? Blow them up!
yeah, literally, it's like, okay, we have a chance to save lives. No, never mind. We're not going to save any lives. Fuck you. In fact, I'm going to kill everybody. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And that's what pissed me off so bad about it. I don't really like Ironwood that much. Never did.
Oh,
Ironwood's
you've never
fine.
backed me up in arguments, Travis.
Well, like I said, I don't hate him. I just don't. He's not my favorite character. But for them to like completely do a 180 and turn him in completely on a different path, it didn't make any sense.
Yep.
None at all.
It's been clear I don't like Ironwood. And I have said the entire time, he is an enemy. He is a villain. And ladies and gentlemen, it became true. And I am so sorry I was right. I was so mad that I was right. I was being a troll in saying he was a villain. I was being a troll in saying he is their biggest enemy right now. I'm right! I'm right. That gives me hope about Winter being a hacker now. She's gonna hack Ironwood.
God.
You know what? I don't care what happens at this point. I was right,
no.
and I am sorry I was right. I am sorry to the fans of RWBY. I'm sorry to Connor for butchering his boy. I respected Ironwood. Honestly, I've been a troll in some of these. Ironwood was a great character, and they killed him. They killed him. He has no good... Like, I don't know any redeeming arc. Watch. You know what, Connor? You're talking about these redemption arcs. I bet they try and make him try and get, like, some pity.
I don't think they've took away they've dehumanized him. I don't think he's going to get the redemption arc. They have atomed him. He is going to be killed by Crow in a way that doesn't make sense, but it's going to be like, I'm Crow, I'm on Team RWBY. That means I'm the good guy and you have to like me. So and that's what it's going to be. And it sucks.
I'm Ironwood.
Yeah, that's a villain. They villainized him.
The most fucked up thing, though, is it sucks that I'm right. And again, I'm sorry I'm right.
There's so many good ways to treat villains. One of the things I like so much about Naruto is the fact that the villains are mostly understandable characters.
They're relatable.
Like, Zabuza, even though he's a fucking murderer, he killed children. He killed so many people. He is nothing more than a bloodthirsty animal. But in his last moments, it is revealed that he actually cared about Haku. He actually loved Haku. And he fucking cries in those moments because Naruto's words got through to him. A relatable villain is not a hard thing to do. This is a slight spoiler for MHA. I just finished season 4, and there's a villain, an arc that Deku fights a villain, and he has the line at the end of it where he says, "You were the hardest villain I've had to face, and do you know why? Because I could understand you." And because that is such a morally complex issue to run your main characters through. That's what I like to do in the D&Ds. In the RWBY D&D with Davos, that was the whole thing about him and Flowers, is that they were morally complex. You felt bad for them in a way, but you knew that you still had to do your duty despite it, because that was what your character needed to do. But they just can't do that. They refuse to.
I am sad to see what they did to him. I am sad for what comes next. At this point, what else is going to happen? Because at this point, Oz is going to have to interfere in some way, unless he gets killed before the bomb goes off. And Winter says, as second in command now, boom, type thing to the military. I don't know what else could happen. That or a bunch of people are going to fucking die.
I think what is going to happen at this point is Winter and the Aesops are going to fight within themselves to not destroy Mantle. Like, Harriet will obviously be on Ironwood's side no matter what, but Winter and Marrow might be against them, and that's going to, like, delay the bomb and all that. And then Crow and Hill are going to fight Ironwood, and then they're going to kill him, and the bomb's going to be gone, and then everything's going to be good. And then I hope, what I fucking hope still happens, is Salem comes back, has Penny, she gets the relic, the fucking city falls and destroys Mantle as well.
Fair enough.
I just do not want the Team RWBY to win at this point, because they've done nothing right.
Well, the writers are making it go the way of RWBY right now.
So, Jean, Yang, and Ren and Oscar, those people have done things right, actually. I'll defend them. But the three title cast, fucking RWBY, Blake, and Weiss, they've been drinking tea while everyone else is dying into war.
Yo, this whole season, bro, like they just been 70.
Are you thirsty, my friend?
If I go back and watch this season again before we do the final episode, I'm going to keep a tea count.
How many refills?
Yeah. How many cups of tea are there in the show? Or in this season? Oh, God. Yeah, I've got nothing else to say.
All right. So, I mean, up to this point, so like, it's starting to feel like, I really don't know who they're trying to actually portray as the main villain right now. So I don't know if they're trying to say Ironwood's the main villain or Salem is the main villain. I don't know. It's starting to get a little bit confusing for me. There is
one writer's technique that I think they're trying to do. I think there is a writer's technique of what they're trying to do is diversion. They want us to focus on the issue of Ironwood and Team RWBY and forget about Salem for a little bit. And all of a sudden, Salem is going to be there being like, hey, thanks for letting me recover fully. Have a good one. Boom.
I hope so.
And I want that, and I have a feeling that's kind of what they're going to do. I don't agree with it, but the writers are RWBY writers, so...
I just don't want RWBY to win. That's all I care about, so I'm completely down with that.
I think in the end of the entire show, she's going to win, but I don't want her to win in this.
I want her to learn a fucking lesson.
To be fair, she didn't get to complete school.
I think it's gonna be funny because I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's gonna be one of these things where something's gonna happen, and all of a sudden Ruby's gonna show up and she's gonna go, "Well, I told you so." Connor's just gonna lose his shit.
Everyone's gonna be on the ground.
If that happens, I won't like that. I will.
I might be done with the show at that point.
Ironwood, Salem, everybody's gonna be in one place. Ironwood's gonna be on the ground.
Neener, neener, neener.
Oh, yeah. All right, let me stop.
I
Ugh.
hope Oz now takes a bigger role. That's what I want to see happen. Is he is going to see literally everyone he's put in certain places just can't handle it. And now he has to correct it. And I want to see Oz God mode. I want to see it happen. We deserve that now.
That raises an interesting question though, because he is like it's been kind of pushed, but it
Is he
seems
a
like he
pussy?
wants
Yeah.
to leave Oscar in control and possibly just like let him be in control forever.
Fucking stupid.
But I guess
I mean,
is that gonna happen?
well,
He
we're
is
gonna
the-
find out because he's the protagonist. So
GG. But will he be a martyr,
You know what?
or will he
We're,
sacrifice
we're get-
Oscar?
getting into tangent conversations. People, leave us a comment on what you think is going to happen, and leave us a comment of specifically what you thought about Ironwood's move, and what do you think the writers are trying to do. I want to hear it from other people.
Specifically?
I've thought about like clickbait titles, like Adam Returns for the name of this.
Spread internet chaos on the internet.
Adam's Legacy. Just I want it to be like something with Adam. Clover or Ironwood got Adam'd. All right. Well, anyway, ratings.
I mean, I'm going to give it a 5 purely because of the first part of the episode. And that's even high.
All right, 5 for Zach. Mike.
I mean, there were some points that I did like about it, but overall, I really didn't like it that much. There's a lot more than that, so I'm gonna give it probably a 6.
Damn.
Travis.
Yeah, I'm gonna go scientific on it. First part of the episode was an 8. The last part of the episode was a 4. We're gonna meet in the middle. It was a 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you too. I'm gonna give it a 6. It's hard to rate this episode as high as this with what they did to Ironwood, but I enjoyed the first half of the episode too much to not give it above a 5.
Even with the T?
GG.
I was teetering on the edge so much.
He said teeter.
So, Connor, who was your best boy?
Best boy's easy. That's Watts.
Okay.
His rant to Cinder is everything I've been wanting people to yell at her for ages. Then we get to best girl here, and this is where it gets tricky because just so many of these characters of these women just suck now. And it sucks because they were so good at one point. God, I hate it. I can't give it to Winter. She didn't do anything. Weiss made tea, so that's like negative 1 points. Emerald was a hostage, so that was cool. So it's really between Harriet and Yang in my mind.
What about Cinder?
Fuck Cinder.
GG.
She went on a rant, threatened a man's life, and then cried. I don't give a fuck about her in this episode. I think I'm going to give it to Yang.
Wow, that must hurt you inside.
No, I'm fine with Yang when she's good. There's just so many points where she's not good. And I enjoyed her in this episode. I could understand her point of view in this episode because it made sense for where she's been. Unlike so many other of the episodes.
All right, Mike.
For best boy, he didn't do much, but Marrow for consistency. He remained, a consistent character. He didn't break out of that. Writers didn't destroy him.
Not yet.
For best girl, I'm gonna give it to Neo. Boom.
Oh shit!
Sticking
Can I go back
to
on
her
mine?
guns. Yes, you can.
Sure.
All this
I'm
this
changing
time.
that to Neo. I forgot about her in this episode. Yeah, Neo absolutely did the best.
Yeah, she is like, all right. So now I'm gonna get now I got what you want, Cinder. Now give me what I want, what I've been asking you for this whole season, since before this season.
Remember when I attacked you in Volume 6? Give me the girl! Give me the child!
No more run around. Give me what I want. I'll give you what you want.
All right, Travis.
Best boy. Gosh, that one was. Both of these are tough for me because I didn't really like anything that happened during this episode at that point to give someone a best boy or best girl kind of thing. I guess I'll give it to. Well, fuck. I'll give it to Oscar.
Tough choice.
Okay.
And best girl, I'll probably give that to. God, I mean, not a lot happened character-wise that really progressed anybody in my mind. You know what? Let's give it to what's her name? Emerald? Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Let's give it to Emerald because we all know she could have used her semblance and just like left, she could just use her semblance and leave that party and go do whatever the fuck she wants. But no, she's staying there. She's gonna see what happens. She could have left.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Zach.
So mine are both on assumptions. I didn't like anybody in this episode. I'm giving it to Salem for best girl. I guess we did best boy first. Best boy, I'm going to give it to Oz because I think this is all part of his plan and his redemption arc. Best girl, I'm giving it to Salem because I'm going to assume this is part of her plan. So you know what? I just can't agree with anything that's going on right now. I'm giving it to them.
So just to be clear, your best girl is someone who didn't show up in the episode.
This is part of her plan.
Okay.
This is part of her plan.
The best boy didn't show up.
I mean, some of those ashes in the air could have been Salem's. So.
Yeah,
all right. Hey, fair play.
Can't disprove
I
that.
give it to Hazel. His ashes were on the ground.
All right. I'd like to end this episode with a moment of silence for dead Ironwood. Died in season 7 and we didn't know it.
I'm sorry, I won't partake in this silence. I called this.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Well, thank you for watching. Remember to hit that like button if you want to see more content like this. And if you want to see what the rest of our channel has to offer, be sure to subscribe. Looking for any ways to support us? Well, we currently aren't monetizable through YouTube. We do have a Patreon and even a merch store, so be sure to check those out. All of the links to these things are right in the description down below. And last but not least, we'll see you next time.